So today we're going to be working on similarity in right triangles. As I said, this is going to involve the extremes and means. We talked about that before, but we're going to talk about this as we go forward. We're going to be using this to deal with our geometric mean. That geometric mean is going to be a concept that we're going to be introducing today. That's why I said y'all needed to know that fraction. So here's that fraction again. Remember that the extremes come in the first and the last spot. The means come in the second and the third. So extremes first and last, means are in second and third spots here. If the means are equal, guys, these two spots, if the second and third spot are equal, then it's called a geometric mean. This only happens in specific situations. It involves, I don't know what that is. It involves right triangles. Don't know how to close that out. Hold on. Interesting. I have no idea what that is. Okay, so here we go. For geometric mean, to find the geometric mean between numbers, these are your extremes. They are going to go first and last. Extremes are 6 and 15. You need to find the means, but if it's a geometric mean, then they're the exact same thing. It repeats. So if we don't know it, we call it x, and we're going to call it x in both spots. This is going to be a very easy problem if you remember how to do this, because it's just using your calculator. Guys, if you cross multiply this, you're going to get x times x, which is x squared. On the other direction, you're going to get the 6 times the 15. What is 6 times 15? Y'all have the calculators. 90. And then you're going to take this, guys, to undo squares, we take this, what was that word? Squares. We take the square root of both sides. So taking the square root of that, the square root of 90, now when we do square roots, we're going to be rounding everything to the nearest tenth. Just like we did before, we're going to stay consistent on how we do that. So grab your calculators, let's talk about how to type this, because it's different on this calculator. To type a square root on this calculator, we'll have to try it and see how it goes. I believe it is seconds, then the x2 button. Look above the x2. Is that where the little square root symbol is above it? Yeah? Okay. And then 90, and then hit equals. Should be 9 point what? Is it? I got something different. I'm going to look at my calculator. It's 9 point what?
4.
4. What's after the 4?
8.
Okay, so 9.48. So that would give me the right answer, guys, because it's got a 4 right here, and the 8 after it means that it's going to round up. So it's going to round up to 9.5. There you go, 9.5.
Would it be wrong if we wrote 4, 8?
Yes, because it's got to be rounded to the nearest tenth. The directions for rounding on all the radicals is going to be to the nearest tenth. I wouldn't take off everything. I'd probably take off a point for the rounding, but it would be a little bit off. Okay? The rounding is going to matter a lot when we get to plugging it back. We have to use a rounded plug back in later on, so it really matters. That's like second semester. That turns into a really big deal second semester with trig. Okay? Here we go. 6 and 18. Guys, you know the reason these are easy is because of the exact same setup every time? So between 4 and 18 are your extremes. Your means are going to be the unknowns, so we put x and x. It's the same pattern every single time. So x times x is going to be x squared. What's 4 times 18? 72? That's not a perfect square. So when we take the square root for both sides, that's going to be one again that you have to round off. Y'all are going to have to look and decide what it rounds to. 8.5 when you round it? I'll agree. What was it on the calculator, just so we know? 8. Oh, okay, almost identical. A 4 with an 8 after it would round up, so it'd be 8.5. Good deal. Okay. Anybody have any questions so far? Yes, please. Haven't I got 72? Absolutely. I'm cross multiplying. So I'm multiplying here and I'm multiplying here. X times x is x squared. 4 times 18 is 72. And then we take the square root. So it's just that same thing for typing it. It'd be second, that little x squared button, 72, and then equals. Is that better? Okay, good deal. Okay guys, the next one is set up different, but it's the same exact concept. You just need to put things in the right spots. Guys, listen to me. 36 is the geometric mean. That's the one that has to repeat. That goes in the mean spots. The mean spots are here. So you're going to put 36 here and you're going to put 36 here. Excuse me. It is the geometric mean between two numbers. The first number is what? 12. First number is 12. What's the other number? X, because we don't know it. The two numbers that it's a geometric mean between are 12 and X. Okay? 12 and X. It really doesn't matter which spot you put them in, as long as they're the extremes. You get the same answer when you cross multiply. Yes? Huh? Yeah, please, come on, they're in the drawer. Absolutely. We cross multiply that. Guys, 12 times X is literally just 12X. But what is 36 times 30? Oh, the first one. 36 times 36. 1296. Okay. Divide both sides by 12. Maybe it divides evenly. Oh, what is it? 108. There you go. So it is the geometric mean between 12 and 108. Guys, the key is which one repeats? What part repeats? The geometric mean is always the part that repeats. Again, it is equal. When these are equal, when it repeats, it's a geometric mean. Okay? When that number repeats, it's a geometric mean. When these spots, this spot right here, guys, the mean spots, this spot and this spot are the same, that's a geometric mean. Notice all of these are the same. That's when it's a geometric mean. We're going to use it in pictures in a minute, guys, so it matters. Pictures matter. I mean, the order matters because the picture matters. Okay, here we go. So, in a right triangle with an altitude, this is, guys, look, this is an altitude. It's drawn, it's the height. Altitude just means height. It's going to break it into three separate triangles. You got the big triangle, okay, the one on the outside. You got the one that's over here on the left, and then you got the one that's over here on the right. These are all similar, meaning all their sides are proportional to each other. You're going to name them so that they are similar to each other. That means they need to correspond. Guys, think about it as short, long, and the hypotenuse. If you think of them like that, people usually do better. Looking at the big triangle right here, okay, big triangle right here. We've got a short leg over here, we've got a long leg over here, and we've got the hypotenuse down here on the bottom, right? So I'm going to start at the end of the short leg over here by the hypotenuse, and I'm going to call it triangle, and I'm going to go EDA. I'm going down the short side, then down the long side, EDA. Okay guys, if I go in that order, I'm going to switch colors. Y'all can circle. I'll do it circle as well on here. I'm going to look at now the triangle that's on the left. On the triangle on the left, this side would now be the short side, this side would be the long side, and this side would now be the hypotenuse. If we're looking at this triangle that's in red over here on the left, let me try that again. Let me trace it for you. You don't have to trace it, I'm just showing you which triangle we're talking about. This one over here on the left, guys. So if I want to name that, if I want to name it in the order that goes down the short side, then down the long side, what triangle would we call that? DHA is correct. DHA. Again, guys, we're going from the end of the short one down towards the right angle, then down the long side. Okay, I'm going to change colors again. I'll do this one in, what color will show up good? Green? We'll see if this one shows up. So now we're talking about this little triangle that's over here on this side. Do you see this triangle that's in green now? This piece right here is the short side. This side right here is the long side. And now this one right here is now the hypotenuse. Can y'all see those? I'm going to trace over in black just so you can see. Short, long, and hypotenuse. Okay, if I want to name that in the same order, I've got to go down the short side and then down the long side. What would I call that? E, H, and D. They're going to ask you to name these similar triangles, so that's important that you know how to do that. That's all correspondence. We've done that all before, but that's like the minor thing in this, guys. That's really not the thing that I'm most concerned about. That's one little part of what we do. The geometric mean is what we're about to get to. These are the fractions that are going to matter. This is going to be how you have to do this. Okay? So, here we go. Guys, geometric mean. Geometric mean creates a special relationship between the parts of a right triangle that has the altitude drawn in it. Listen to me. Your picture has to face this direction. See how this one's got the butt up in the air? That's the way I always think of it. When you see this, you got the right angle, that big right angle sticking way up in the air. The triangle needs to be this way every single time, where it's got the right angle at the top and the hypotenuse of the big one on the bottom. That's the only way you're going to do these problems. You'll see these are set up that way. If you ever get one that's not turned this way, turn your paper. The relationships are all going to be based on the ones that are floating. The ones that are floating, this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here. The floaters are the geometric means. I'm going to say that again. The floaters are the geometric means, meaning they repeat. Just making that really clear. Give you a minute to get that down, because that's really important. Only the ones that float can be the geometric means. And I'm actually going to start with the one in the middle, because the one in the middle is the one that people most understand. That B is going to repeat here and here, and it repeats to the two things on the bottom that it touches. It touches the A on this side and the C on this side. So it is the geometric mean between the A and the C. There's your equation, guys. That's what you're going to use for everything we do today, is that relationship. The one in the middle is the geometric mean between the two on the bottom that it touches. It touches the A, it touches the C. Okay, now the ones on the outside are a little bit more to them, but it's still the same relationship. This one that floats repeats in the geometric mean spot, so you've got that D floating up there, so it's going to be repeated. And it's repeated between what it touches. Now this is where you have to think a little bit. The obvious one that it touches is A, guys. So it touches A and it floats between A and something else. What does it float between for the other one? Well, it floats between A and the entire thing. The entire thing is going to be F. Guys, what's really F though? F is the whole thing, so it's really just A added to C. It's just those two things added together. So that A is going to, that D is going to repeat. That D touches that A right there and the whole thing, which is F. Yep. I'm waiting for questions. I'm waiting. You notice I didn't even go on. I'm waiting for that questions on that one.
You said E covers the whole side. You mean Y, C, and Z?
Wait. I don't know what your question is. Sorry. Try it again.
So you're saying it
It
touches A?
touches A. Touches this one right here. And then it touches the length of the whole bottom piece on that big triangle. So it's going to touch A and F, which is the combination of A and C together. Okay? Now let's think about that. See if that applies when you think of it on the other side. I'm going to change colors. I'm going to still do the repeat. The floater is the E, guys, so the E is still going to go here and here. But think about that one. What does it touch on the bottom? C. Perfect. C. What's the other thing it touches on the bottom? F. That's correct. F. It floats between C and F. That is exactly correct. Okay, guys, these are your relationships. I don't expect you to memorize them. I expect you to use them. We're going to use them so that you can know them. Let's get questions. Yes? Absolutely. When you're setting it up, it makes no difference. None. because these repeat, when you cross multiply, these two could be in either spot and it gives you the same answer. I would not count off either way. That's a good question. Anybody else? Okay, let's make it real problems, then people tend to do better, guys. Here we go. This is the whole, these are the this is what your problems are. Besides the ones we already did at the top, these are what most of your problems are going to look like. Here we go. So, when we look at number 4, W is your floater. Do you see it's floating in the air? That's going to be your geometric mean. That means that's the one that repeats in this spot and in this spot. It repeats between the two things on the bottom that it touches. What does it touch on the bottom? It touches, say it, I heard it. Touches the D right here, that point. What does D touch? What numbers? The 6 and the 4. Doesn't matter which one you put first, doesn't matter which one you put second. Those are the two that it touches. Okay, grab your calculators, let's cross multiply. W times W is going to be W squared. 6 times 4 is going to put you at what? 24. How do you undo squaring something? Square root. Square root. W equals. Guys, grab your calculators. Grab your calculators. Okay, to type this, you type second, hit the little x squared button, 24 equals. Got to be close to 5, because 25 would be 5. 4 point what? 9. There we go. W would be 4.9. Okay, I'm not getting many responses, guys. This is not a good sign. We got to ask questions as we go through this. Yes, ma'am. Typer? Typing it? Absolutely. So let's write it down again just so we have it again so that we have it written down. It's going to be the second button, then the little X2 button, whatever the number is, in this case it'd be 24, and then the, that's the wrong direction, equal sign. Alright. Concerns, questions, anything before we move on? Anything else? Okay, let's see if we can set this next one up. We'll set it up down here. Which thing is going to be my geometric mean in problem number 5? X. The floater is always the geometric mean, so it goes here and here. What does the X touch on the side that makes it obvious? Which one's over here? 4. Now that one's obvious. What is the other number you use? It is not 6. It is 10. Thank you. It is 10, because it's whatever the length is of the whole thing, which is 10. There we go. So guys, when you cross multiply this, it's going to be x squared equals 4 times 10 is going to put you at 40. Take the square root, take the square root. I'll let you get there writing it first, then try typing it and see what you get. Trying to think what the closest square root would be 36 would be 6 and 49 would be 7, so it's somewhere between 6 and 7. 6 point what? What's on the calculator? 6 point what? 3 what? 2.
Yeah.
So a 3 with a 2 after it would stay the same. If this number after it is 4 or below, it stays the same, so I'd leave it at 6.3. There we go. Okay. We got one left, guys. One left on this, on this line. We've got those other two. Okay, here we go. The y is going to repeat. How do I know that? Because it floats. It's repeating between which two numbers? 6 and 10. 6 and 10. Guys, you never use the one that doesn't touch it. See how the 4 doesn't get near it? You're not going to use that by itself when it doesn't touch it. So it's always the whole thing. Cross multiply that, it's going to be y squared equals 60. Take the square root, take the square root. 60 is between 49 and 64. So it's going to be between 7 and 8. So it's 7 point something. 7 point. Okay, so just 7.7 when you round it off. There you go. Perfect. Good deal. Okay, so for the next ones, guys, it's a little bit different. You may have some of the floaters be actual numbers. You may have to find the ones on the bottom. So this is going to be just like changing up where things are, but the process is still the exact same. You're going to have the same issues that you dealt with before. So, first of all, before we do anything, tell me which ones are my floaters. The 18 and the x. Those are the ones that are geometric means. Okay? Those are the ones that are geometric means. Now, I'm going to start with the one that's 18 because look at it, guys. The 18 has that w and the 36. It's got two numbers over here. This has two variables over here. So I'm going to start with the one with two numbers because that way I can find that missing piece. I'm going to be dealing with the 18 repeating. 18 repeats because it floats. What does it repeat between? What does it touch? W and 36. The whole thing. That's exactly right. Nicely done. So, 36W equals, I'm cross multiplying, guys. Everything is cross multiplying. What's 18 times 18? I don't know that. 324? Okay, sorry, I wrote it wrong. 324. Divide by 36, and W equals, what is 324 divided by 36? 9. Perfect. There's my first one. W is 9. Hey guys, listen to me. Y is easy, but people make Y hard. Do you see you really already know Y by just doing one little arithmetic problem? How can I find Y? 36 minus that 9. Good. 36, that whole length, minus that 9 is going to leave me 27. Is it 27? Okay. Now look at that. Does that look like that's 27 and the other side's 9? These are not going to be drawn to scale. Do not panic when you see that. That is okay. Okay, our last one is going to involve this other floater. It's going to let me get the y right here. It's going to let me use the y that I've got right here, the 27, to find my x. So here we go. What's going to repeat? The x. Good. What's it going to be between? The 27 and the 36. Good. 27 and the 36. Good. Cross multiply that. That's going to be x squared equals. Now this is going to be a little bit bigger number. I don't know exactly what it is. What was it? Okay. A little bit bigger. Take the square root, round that. Now, I'm trying to think. It's going to be 30 times 30 would be 900. So it's somewhere around 30. Point what? 2? Do y'all agree with the rounding? 31.2. Try checking the rounding. Yes, you agree with that rounding? Good deal. Okay. Anybody have a concern, question, anything about that one before we move to our last one? Anything? I want to make sure before we do our last one. Okay, guys, on this last one, you've got 3 floaters. 3 floaters. Here's the problem. You got to figure out which one to do first. Which one has 2 numbers as part of the problem? Which variable can you find using 2 numbers? The y. The y would, no, because the y would have to use the whole thing, and the whole thing's got a w in it. The 12 connects between, yeah, because 12's got a 24 on this side and a w on this side. That gives you one variable and 2 numbers. Does that make sense? Yeah. The w, yeah, for that one. So, we're going to put that 12 repeating. Good. Look, you participant, I don't care. So, 12 repeats, and it repeats between what 2 things? What are the 2 parts that make up that bottom? 24 and W. Perfect. 24 and W. Okay, let's cross multiply that. 24 times W is going to be 24W. Now, guys, you should know what 12 times 12 is. It's 144. Divide both sides by 24. My guess is that it divides evenly. 6. Okay, look, I'm going to put 6 right here. Now, before we do anything else, guys, we don't have a length of the whole thing. But if this is 24 and this is 6, how long is the whole thing altogether? 30. I would put that down there before you did the X or the Y. Now I can do the X and I can do the Y. I've got both of them to do, but I can do both of them. Let's see if we can set them up correctly. Let's do the X first. The X is going to repeat between what two numbers? What does it touch? The 6 and the... Wait. What else does the X touch? 30. It's always going to be between the one right next to it and the whole thing. So the 6 and the 30. Let's set up the Y. Then we'll cross multiply them both. The Y touches what two numbers? What's on that side and then the whole thing? 24 and 30. The Y, this side, touches the 24 and the 30. Cross multiply that. That's going to be Y squared. Oh, I don't know why I started on the Y, guys. Some of y'all probably started on the X one. I apologize. We'll go back up here. That's going to be X squared equals, what is 6 times 30? 180. Alright, take the square root, take the square root. 169 would be 13. 196 is 14, so it's 13 point something. I got different answers. 13.4. Okay. Okay, this is going to be a bigger number. What's 24 times 30? 720? 720? Take the square root, take the square root. Y equals the square root of 720. Hold on, don't say it, I want to see. 24 times 24 is 625. It's 25 times. Somewhere about 26 or 27. Where is it at? What was it? 26.8. We agree? Okay, there you go. I'm just trying to estimate in my head, see if I can get close. There we go, guys. That's all your answers. Anybody have any concerns, questions, anything about it?